Ladies and gentlemen, you've probably all, at some point in your life, had a crush on somebody, maybe even been in love with them, and if you're one of those lucky bastards, maybe even got into a relationship, a long-term one if you're really lucky. And while all these things might seem fantastic at first, today I'm going to tell you what's wrong with them. So there you are, all sad and lonely in this big sea of people that we all find ourselves in for reasons that we don't have to get into, but you've probably convinced yourself that, hey, oh my god, I'm so ugly, I look worse than Jabba the Hutt. No wonder, you're never going to find anybody with that sort of a fucking mindset. Really, do you want to date somebody who is depressed? No, you get depressed. So it's going to be pretty hard to find somebody thinking like this all the fucking time. So first, you gotta get your confidence up. Many people, when they go to a bar, they have no confidence. They go, they find a two or a three just to get some of that confidence back. Feel good about themselves. Well, okay, at least I can fuck a three. Maybe next week I'll try and find a five. And you work your way up the ladder until you find, oh, okay, no, I'm a one after all. I can't fuck anybody but once. So you're out there in the bar. First, you have to find somebody who think, okay, would they realistically actually fuck me? Well, who knows? But you gotta try, right? So that's one head of, that's one hell of a headache, right? But let's say, for the sake of argument, that you did find somebody that's actually willing to talk to you for more than 1 minute, and you think, you're kind of hitting it off, it's sort of starting to do, and then obviously, you want to see them again if they're an amazing person, right? Well, now talking to them the first time, that's the biggest hurdle, but that's not the only one. There are still many big objectives to accomplish, right? So you want to ask somebody out, fuck, what do you do with them, huh? Like, oh, go to a museum or picnic. I don't fucking know. I'm not an expert myself. But hey, you gotta do something, right? I mean, you gotta have. If you just start hanging out with somebody, this is the same with relationships, like dating and with friends. You gotta have some excuse to see each other. You can't just be like, hey, I wanna fucking see you. You'll be like, hey, oh, you wanna go see the game? Or hey, you wanna go to this new art gallery I just saw? Why is it so fucking complicated? Why can't you just be like, hey, I fucking liked you. I just want to fuck your brains out. No, it doesn't work like that. Step number three. Oh my god. Somehow they agreed to your ridiculous idea of a date of like go-karting. Somehow you convinced them it's a fun thing to do on a first date to go-kart with them. Or whatever other retarded idea you came up with. But oh my god. Now the game actually really begins. Now you've actually just started the fucking game. So you gotta like constantly be reading the mind and the body and everything. Like you gotta question every single letter they use in a word. Like, oh, does this have some other fucking meaning? Oh, he or she is doing the fucking hair, and oh, did this mean this? Oh, did he touch my leg because oh I don't know, he's a doctor and he thinks something's wrong with it, or does he want something else? Oh, these mind games. It's a pain in the ass. Now, most people, they fail in these three early stages that I've just described. Either they don't have the fucking confidence to talk to somebody in the first place, or they can't convince them to go on a date after they've started talking to them, or the fucking date sucked and they don't want to see you again. Happens most of the time, right? But okay, let's say you were successful. Many people are, right? Many people were and many people will be. Now you're in like this early dating period, where you aren't quite boyfriend girlfriend yet, but obviously you've already fucked and you liked what you fucked and you want to keep getting what you just fucked. So what the fuck do you have to do? Oh well, you have to do shitty things that you would never do before just to get pussy again or dick. I don't know, whatever the fuck you're into. I don't know what I'm saying, dude. I'm just making things up on the fly. So whoever you just started hooking up with is going to start asking you things like, hey, let's watch Germany's Next Top Model together, or hey, let's watch this football game together. And you hate every idea they come up with, but you like what you're fucking, so you kind of have to keep doing it and pretending that you like the same things as them, and until you make them love you enough that you can be like, actually, I never liked these things to begin with, and they just like you for who you are. Like you always have to pretend. You have to play this game of pretend in the beginning, which is just so stupid and ridiculous because everyone wants to be loved so much and they're scared of rejection, and no one's actually standing up for themselves. God, many people are fortunate enough to actually end up in a committed relationship. And while this may seem great at the beginning, this is when the shit really hits the fan. Because now you don't just have to deal with the person you're dating, you have to deal with their stupid friends and their stupid family. Like, isn't this like the biggest nightmare of everyone? That you start being in a relationship with somebody, and then all their friends hate you, all their family hates you, and they're constantly just telling them like, "Hey, he sucks, he sucks, she sucks. You're a piece of crap." How do people put up with this? I don't actually know. Oh, and because you need their approval to get, I don't know, married one day or something, or just to not be a pain in the ass, you have to pretend to like them. I mean, you don't have to, but at least the first time you meet them, you have to pretend that like, oh, what, you like eating alligators? Oh yeah, that's the coolest thing. Yeah, oh, I definitely try that one day. But of course you won't. So you got to set those boundaries early on, or okay, you don't. Why am I talking like a fucking dating expert? I don't know shit about this. I'm just making fun of this crap. But hey, just listen to me. It's all gonna make this big rant's all gonna make sense in the end somehow. Just trust me, okay? Trust the guy in the fucking suit, okay? Of course, everybody has like their big secrets, things they're embarrassed to tell others. So, as the relationship gets longer and longer, slowly you start trusting the person more and more. Everyone's like so scared of rejection. So you have to wait, like, okay, I can tell secret number one after 6 months, and then secret number two after 1 year, and then, oh, the big fucking thing. I can tell after 5 years only because otherwise no. I can't trust them before that. No. These big things that mean so much to them, that would be such a make and break type situation, they get reserved for later in the relationship. Which on the one side, yeah, it does make sense because they are like these big things that could end the relationship. So you kind of, and you like them in the beginning and you don't want to like risk losing them over such a thing before you have gained the fucking confidence. But then also, isn't it worse that, like, let's say you have like this big secret, whatever the fuck it may be. Maybe you fucked a pigeon one day and you're too embarrassed to tell them. So then you have to wait like until this whatever time frame you've set in your mind. Like, okay, after 3 years, I'm gonna confess I got drunk one day and I fucked a pigeon. Like, isn't it worse if you tell them after 3 years you're completely in love with them, and then you tell them and then they break up with you? Isn't this way more heartbreaking than telling them this after, like, I don't know, maybe getting some drinks 2 months in, and be like, oh, let's share some stupid stories and this happened, and if they end it, at least it's not as big of a heartbreak as it would be 3 years down the road. I don't get it, okay? And the big thing for many people at the end of the day is they want to get married, okay? Okay, I know there are some women out there that they could be categorized as gold diggers. You don't have to, you can. It's an option. It's an option. They get married to get divorced. I mean, hey, do what you want. Get that bag. I don't approve, but hey, it's a free country, right? Why do you have to pay so much to get married? I know you don't have to, but weddings are so fucking expensive, and oh, it's a shame. The biggest fucking party of your life, maybe, I don't know. And then you have a party for the party, like the bachelor or the bachelorette party. Why? Why are these things so expensive? You pay like tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars for a wedding that half of them go down the shitter anyway. But oh no, of course you want to have your big day. And everyone has to, oh, and you have to invite everybody you ever met, who ever shared a piece of pizza with you. That, oh, you have to invite them, otherwise, oh, you're never going to see them again anyway, but you kind of have to do it. It's not a piece of crap. Why? a wedding is basically just one big free buffet for all your guests. Then, once you're married, now you have to work at maintaining the marriage. You can't just leave, right? You have to get lawyers involved. And we all know the classic saying, happy wife, happy life, and probably happy husband, happy life too. Okay, well, not probably not as much, I know, but it still applies to both, right? It applies to both. We're equal. But it's strange how somebody that you used to love deeply can now make your life miserable. Like you always see on TV and shit, like all those people complaining about their wives and their husbands and how they hate them. How did it get there? The main point of the marriage, is to grow old together and die together. Maybe, I mean, okay, that actually would be a nice way to leave this world, if you just both 80 years old and a fucking car just slams into you and kills both of you. That way, none of you will have to suffer the loss of the other. Damn, I think I've just solved mourning. Just, hey, we're both old. Our kids are done. They have their own kids, okay? The grandkids are grown up too. Let's just fucking die. Let's just jump off a cliff together. I actually think this is $1 million idea. Couples assisted suicide. Let's go. But the big issue with growing old together is you also grow increasingly shitty looking together. So while your wife or your husband becomes increasingly annoying while you grow older, they also become more and more shitty looking, and the dick stops working and the pussy becomes looser and looser. Oh man, it's just a mess. And the only thing keeping the marriage apart after 50, 60 years, I don't even know what it is. It's probably just like, uh, I like the bread that you make. I like how you wash the toilet. I don't want to pay somebody to do that. If you do it for free, let's just stick together, okay? So yeah, while you might be having a wonderful time fucking and loving somebody else, and somebody else fucking and loving you, just remember there's plenty of things wrong with it.